This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone, good morning and good evening.
Hello. No.
Who would like to share your screen?
So, what's the agenda for today?
Sorry, I was speaking on mute. Yeah, so today we are going to create a Salesforce environment. So I'll show you how can we create a Salesforce environment for free. And we'll see some basic stuff. How does it look like for looks for an end user, and what we are going to do in future. All this.
Okay. Um, if everybody's okay, I can share my screen.
So in admin sessions, 90% one or the other persons from your end will be sharing the screen every day. So unless until the concepts are little difficult, uh, I won't share. Most of the times you will be sharing it. So there are two advantages. We'll go slow. And second one is you'll also understand how we are doing this navigations, because in admin, navigating between screens is what is very important. Yeah. Yeah. Pavitra, you can share your screen now.
So I might have to log out and log in. Can I do that first?
Yeah.
Okay, give me 2 minutes. All right, I'm in. Let me see if I can share.
Once again, I have to give you the permission again. You can share it now.
All right. So where do I go from here?
Yeah. So first thing, to get Salesforce access, you have to go to a URL. just developer.salesforce.com.
Hmm. Would this be the one?
Yeah. And now, no, it's not direct salesforce.com. Type developer.salesforce.com. So from here also you'll get a free edition, like because you have a try for free button. But the thing is, this will be there only for 1 month if you directly
Mm.
go with salesforce.com. But the one that we are going to create, this is for lifetime.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, Scroll down. Okay, they have revamped. Okay, scroll down a bit. Oh, okay. Just give me 1 minute.
Mhm.
Actually, the site have been revamped. Let me see where we can create a free edition. Click on scroll up to the top of the screen.
Mhm.
Scroll up.
Yeah. So all the way up.
Click on that blue button, which is browse trails. And here you have, if you scroll down a bit, there is Salesforce Developer Edition, right? Sign up for Salesforce Developer Edition.
Yeah.
Click on it. Yeah. Now you can start giving your details like your first name, last name, your email ID with which you want to register with Salesforce. And if you are working for a company, that's fine. If not, also it's okay. Role also can be anything. It doesn't matter. You just need an environment. So you're just defining some roles. So this looks like similar to your yeah, maybe a Facebook or Twitter registration. But when
Mhm.
you register with say Facebook or Twitter or any other social media, so basically you are getting a simple user access where you can browse the details of others, like maybe your friends pictures or videos, or you can post something. But here in Salesforce we are registering for a Salesforce org, which means we are registering for a space in Salesforce server for free. Now what can we do here? We can start building our own applications and start using the existing apps as well. Now when it says username in Salesforce, it should be in a form of an email, right? So you can give, let's say, Pavitra at cisco.com also, but the format should be in email form. It doesn't mean that you have to give a right email.
Mm.
And then now, once you are done with it, Salesforce will send an email to the email ID with which you have registered for.
Okay. I haven't gotten anything.
It will take a while. Let's wait for a few seconds.
Okay.
So basically, you will get an email from Salesforce now for
Mhm.
verification. So once you click on that verify link, it will ask you to create a password for this login, and then
Okay.
you can come back to Salesforce and start logging in. So let me know if you get a mail which says support at the rate salesforce.com.
Hmm. Okay. I'll just wait.
You got it now?
Mm-mm. No.
Take that much time. Can someone else also try once?
Oh, I got it.
And please do remember the password. Generally, what people do is like when you're doing using mobiles, so they'll give some complicated password where they also cannot remember,
Right.
and then they okay. That's it. Now maximize the screen. Yeah. So once you register or once you verify your credentials, so this is the place where Salesforce will take you in. Now, next time when you're trying to log in, you don't have to go to the developer edition and all, just directly go to login.salesforce.com. That is the production URL of Salesforce. That is login.salesforce.com, and you can start giving your credentials. Okay. Now,
Okay.
so now Pavitra has registered for this org, right? She is the admin for this org, as she is owning the org, right? That is the reason she is able to see this entire setup screen. Now, Ram, in that case, what if an end user logs in? So he will be navigated to an application itself. Okay. For example, let me share the screen for a minute.
Mhm.
Or can you open an Excel sheet? Let's do it in your system itself. Can you open an Excel? So if someone asks me to compare Salesforce with one of the best tools in IT, I will say it is Excel. Why? Because so what is a disadvantage of an Excel sheet? Can anyone tell me?
Disadvantage of Excel on Mac or disadvantage of Excel in PC?
Nothing.
Sorry?
Excel as a software. Okay. So let's
Uh,
compare
it has a
Salesforce and
minimum
Excel.
of 1 million
Okay.
rows.
In one column, let's say in column G, give Excel, in column H, give Salesforce. Or column, yeah, in two columns. I just want to compare Salesforce and Excel. That's it.
Okay.
In one column, give heading as Excel, and another column, give the heading as Salesforce. Now, uh, okay, as most of you people are there in India, let's go with this. Let's say if you compare Tata, right? So Tata groups, they have multiple businesses. They are into multiple industries. So they are into automobiles, they are into finance, they are into food, multiple things, right? Now, let us say the Tata Group doesn't have anything in hand, any software in hand. They want to capture each and every details in a in Excel. So what they'll do, simply they'll create a folder in a system. In that, they'll create multiple Excel sheets, which is one for food industry, one for education, one for automobile, likewise multiple Excel files, and each and every Excel file will have multiple tables which is related to the customers, transactions, and products. Am I correct? Ideally, end of the day, whatever the software that is available in the market, backend, you will have some tables where you'll capture the data, and this is what even Tata have to do. Did you agree with that?
Mm, yeah.
Now, which means, let us say we are going to use Excel to build applications, multiple applications for Tata. Then what you have to do, first of all, you will have below Excel, write files. You'll have under Excel, you'll have files. Column C, below Excel, you'll have a
Mhm.
file, right? Below file, in every file, you'll have multiple sheets, right? You can create n number of sheets, right? So give sheets there. So sheet one, sheet two, you can, like in one sheet, I'll give customer information, in second sheet, I'll give product information, third sheet, I'll give maybe the transaction information. And within sheets, what you'll have,
Columns and rows.
tables, right?
Hmm.
Below sheets, create write tables. Inside the table, you'll have rows and columns, right? And yes, in this, we are when you are typing on your own, you are simply using columns and rows. But when you are going with an organization, basically you will create a proper table format, right? Why do we need a table format? When I say name in column A, even if I'm having 1,000 records or 1 lakh records, in that column I have to give only name. Email ID cannot be given, or you can give, but ideally you are not supposed to give. So because that's the structure the table have defined, right? So that is where you will have, under tables you'll have rows, and in another row you write columns. Rows is separate, columns is separate, or first write columns and then row. Yeah, that's it. So this is what you can do using an Excel. You can build this. But what is the problem here? For example, let's say Pavitra is my colleague working for same industry. Let's say we are into same department. So she have updated some data in one of the Excel files. And she said like, okay, now I have updated the data that is there with me. And she shared the same file to me and maybe two of my other colleagues also to update the other information. Now what will happen? All of us cannot update in one shot, first of all. Correct? So if I start adding my own updates, then let's say if she have added 10 records, then I'll make it 20. But at the same time, let's say someone else is doing, it'll again become 20 only. They won't have my updates, right? I have to share the sheet so that they can start doing it. So this is one thing. Easily a user can override the changes of others. Now you can say, okay, Ram, why can't we use Google spreadsheets? Yes, you can, but there also I can override. Pavitra says that, okay, no, first 10 rows that are created by me should be updated only by me. Or first 10 rows that are created by me should be visible only to me. That kind of security is not possible, right? Second thing, few minutes back we were discussing about, let's say if we have created a column A as name for name, then till the end of the table you have to give only the name of the customer, not anything else. So but still I can give email IDs there or phone numbers, because Excel cannot restrict you in that way, right? So that is also not possible. And let us say we have one customer who is let's say there is a utility sector where Let's say it's about okay, let's go with a credit card option. Okay, so let's say we have shared the bill to one of the customer, and he didn't pay the bill for a couple of months. Now we have decided to block his transactions, right? So that I have to update it to him, right? We have to notify. Let's say if he consumed maybe 1 lakh rupees on his card, I have to send an email. Will that be possible using your Excel? Again, it is not, right? So there are, like, Excel is not automated, not properly validated, not restricted with the security, right? So these are the issues that you have seen in Excel. Now, I will say Salesforce is a fully automated Excel. Like, whatever the disadvantages that we have discussed about Excel now can be easily done in Salesforce. Now, if Microsoft decides that okay, let us revamp Excel, then outcome of that process will be Salesforce only. Okay. Now, let and why I have written this, we can easily compare these terminologies within Salesforce. Now, file of an Excel is called as application in Salesforce. If you consider one Excel file, that file can be called as an application in Salesforce. Okay, and one more disadvantage, by the way. For example, I have automobile sector, so I've created one file there. I'm maintaining the data, and let us say I'm having a food sector. There also I'm maintaining one data. You can directly write application there because you're comparing right on the table itself. You don't have to write all this, right? Now, so for food sector, I have one file, and for automobile industry, I have another file. Now, will there be a chance that I might have similar customers or same customers, I would say?
Yeah.
Definitely yes, right?
Yeah.
But again, but when I'm using Excel as a different files, you will have to have different maintain different tables, right? In Excel. So that is one thing that you can override in Salesforce. You can use the same table for n number of applications based on your requirement. Now, go back to Salesforce first. No, 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 not. I didn't told you anything. Just delete that row three. Go back to Salesforce. First, we'll see application, where this application comes in Salesforce, and then we'll come back. Okay. Now, so Ram, I know where the file will be there in Excel. So where is the application? How does it looks for an end user? So on this, you have 9 dots on the left top corner. If you see, right? So below that Salesforce logo. So if that is nothing but app launcher. If you click on that, so there are two things. If you know the name of the application, you can type for it in the search bar, or if you click on that view all option, which is there in that palette at the end, so it will show you all the applications that are available for you in your entire Salesforce org, right? So these are the list of applications that you can access. It doesn't mean that these are the only list of applications that are there in your organization. Of course, you being an admin, yes, you have access to all these. But for example, if I have logged in as an end user, so whatever the applications that I can see in that particular org, only those apps will be visible to me. Not everything that is there in the org. Okay. Now, let us go to sales. Click on sales. We have discussed an example yesterday, right? No, 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 sales, just sales. Yes. So this is how an application looks like. Now, in this, you have these are called as tabs. So in Excel, sheets will come at the bottom, right? In Salesforce, tabs will come on the top. So this home, opportunities, leads, tasks, files, accounts, these are all called as tabs in Salesforce. Okay. Can you click on accounts? The moment I click on accounts, it will take me to the accounts tab where, so here you have a recently viewed option, right? This is called as a list view. We can also define our own list view. Click on that and say all accounts, change it to all accounts. We can define our own view. So these are list of some standard accounts given by Salesforce. So this is not just for a free edition that you have created. Even if we are buying an original license from Salesforce, by default, Salesforce will give more or less the same amount of data. Okay. Why, Ram? Because at least when as you are doing it for the first time, to make sure that you understand the structure of the table, Salesforce will give you some sample data only when you are creating the org. But in future, if you are creating a new table, Salesforce won't give you anything because that table you are defining on your own. On all the standard tables that are given all by Salesforce, when you are creating the org, you will have some default data. Okay. Now, so what is the purpose of your sheet in say in Excel? Why do we need a sheet in Excel?
For a table.
So basically, it will give you the access to that specific table, right?
Hmm.
Data of that table, not table, just data of the table. Similarly, the purpose of a tab in Salesforce is to provide access. Sorry, so is to provide access to the data of that object. Okay, can you go back to the Excel now? So in Excel, if it is sheet, then in Salesforce it is tab, T-A-B. Actually, can you keep Salesforce next to Excel rather than keeping Salesforce first and Excel next? So it will be easy to compare for the people. Let's say in column D, cut this and paste it in column D. Yeah. Now, a table of an Excel is called as an object in Salesforce. Object is the place where we'll store the data. And now in Excel, what is this columns? Columns is nothing but, okay, you will, let's say I want to give name. So where do I give? Will that be on the row or will I give it as a heading of my column? Heading of my column, right? So the columns of Excel is called as fields of Salesforce. So let's see that. Can you go back to Salesforce once and open one of the records in the account? Like click on that blue names. Yeah, and go to details. So this is the record view. I'll explain you in detail. Just go to details. So these are the place. This is the place where we can see the details of the account. Okay. Now, if I want to modify them, so either you can simply click on this pencil button, sorry, pencil options, or on the right top you will have edit option. You can click on it. So basically, yeah, click on that. You will see edit button. If you click on it, it will take you to the edit option. Click on that. Yeah. So this is the place where you can modify. Now, if you remember this, click on save and new, for example. If you are trying to create a new record, like how do I add a record in an Excel sheet? You just go to a new row and add it, right? But in Salesforce, it's like first click on accounts tab. No, click on accounts tab first, and now you have new option, right? New button. Click on the new button on the right side. So this is how you will add it. See, whether you create one record or thousand records, the same options will come to you when you are creating a new account. Same as in Excel, right? If I whether I create thousand records or 1 lakh records or rows, so I'll have the same thing. Under name column, I have to give name. Under email column, I have to give email. Correct? Go back, please. This
Sorry.
is little advanced.
I
Discuss
know.
about.
Um, wait, where did I go? Okay, sorry.
Okay, now if you go back to that Excel sheet, now I hope you understood about the column names and
Mm-hmm.
your fields, right? So columns are literally called as fields in Salesforce. And what is a row? Row is nothing but a record. Okay, so each and every row of your Excel is nothing but a record in Salesforce. Okay, and the last one is every row will have a unique number, right? For example, here you can see that 1 2 3, these numbers are coming on the left side, right? Those numbers you cannot change. For every row the number will automatically update, right? I mean, taken care that number, which number should come after what, is taken care by Excel, right? So those are called as row numbers in Salesforce. Those row numbers, you can call them as record IDs. So for every record that you are creating in Salesforce, by default it will create an ID for it, so that you can use it in future for any automations. Yeah. So this is how we compare Salesforce with an Excel sheet. And these are the terminologies that you have to remember in future, because we will be working on these features or with these names from the next session. Any questions till now? Anyone?
Yeah.
Perfect. Now let's go back. So today we'll see some of the screens. So we have seen what is an application, how does it show you, allow you to access different tabs, right? So basically, application is nothing but, in a simple term, it is nothing but an app collection of data in different objects with a well-defined automation rules. So those automations and all we'll discuss later. Okay, but on top of your accounts tab or above your contacts or campaigns, you have a small search bar, right? So what is it? For example, go to a new tab in your browser, click on plus button, go to a new tab. Let's say I want to search for standard accounts, right? Okay, type United and enter. Enter. So what happened here? So say
Google.
your Google search bar, there's a Google search bar where it is basically showing you the entire data in the Google server, which you can access, which has a keyword called United. Correct? It might be from one table or n number of tables, that doesn't matter, right? So it's just a search engine where it is showing you the entire data that you can access from the Google server, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing will happen in Salesforce also. Go to the previous tab, then go to the Salesforce tab. If you search for United here and enter, it will show you the entire list of data that is available in this Salesforce org, that too which you can access. So let us generally Salesforce will give 5 MB of data for you to learn. Okay. The total amount of data that you can store in this Salesforce org is 5 MB. So now what is that search bar is doing? It is allowing you to search for a keyword, and it is showing you the list of all the records whose who has a keyword called United. It might be on the email field or contact field or any other field. It is showing you the entire data. And on the left side, if you see, it says on accounts you have 5 records. Opportunities you have, I think you'll have 8 or 9 records. So for contacts you'll have 5 plus. For tasks you have 0. So you are showing, it is showing you the results, and the details of the results is showing at the center of the screen, right? And this search bar is called as a global search. Why? Because it's not I mean, it's not just searching in one object, right? It is searching for the data across your org. So that is why it is called as global search. Okay, is that clear?
Mm-hmm.
Now let us say in this, yeah, open any of the record. Just click on any of the record. So let's say I'm one of the user who worked on, and who want to work with one of the records. I don't know. I just know it is United. So I search for it. Now I got to know, okay, it is United Oil and Gas, Singapore. So I started working on it. Now, let's say I'll be on vacation for few days or few weeks. So again, after coming back, I don't want to again search for it from the global search, because with a similar name, I might have different accounts also. So what I can do is, on the right, next to this global search, you have a star symbol, right? Click on that. You can make it as your favorite as well. Right top corner, next to global search, you have a star symbol with a down arrow mark. No, right top corner. My right is your right.
And I don't see any right top
Okay, above cases, can you see something?
cases, opportunity.
Not here. On the tabs, on the tab list, you have
Hmm.
accounts, contacts, campaigns, right? If you
Yeah,
scroll towards the end, you'll see cases there.
yeah.
People, case, forecast. Above cases, you have a star symbol. Not here, on the top, on the top. You have tab bar, right? Home, opportunities, all these tabs are there, right?
Ah, yes, here.
There, if you, yeah, just above cases, you have a star symbol.
Oh, sorry. Thanks.
Yeah. So you can make a particular record as favorite, so that next time, let's say, go to home or any other tab that you wish, right? Next time, whatever be on the tab, if you go to this favorites, like if you click on that star symbol, so down arrow mark next to that star symbol, you will see the record that you make as your favorite, and you click on it, you start working on it. And once you're done, you can remove it from the system. I mean, you can remove it as your favorites. If you again click on the down arrow mark, you have a pencil symbol, and you can remove that as well.
Okay.
I think you removed it already.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, next to that, you have plus option, right? So if you click on that plus, so next to that favorites, you have plus, right? Yeah. These are called as global actions. Why? For example, let's say if I have to create a contact, can you go to contacts tab and create a new contact?
Yeah.
So consider me being a sales agent. Let's say I'm working for maybe a financial sector. So I'm working for some finance. My job is to get the financial investors. So I met Pavitra in one of the loops, right? And so I got some time. I have explained her like what are the benefits, all those things, and she's happy. Let's say she said like, okay, I want to be a part of it, or I will invest. Now if I'm using the contacts tab, and if I say that, okay, Pavitra, give me all these details, and if I click on new button, so it is asking me for n number of questions, right? Click on new button. So it will ask me like, where do you work for, all this, like too much of information. By that time, Pavitra may or may not give me the entire information, right? But if you go to that plus symbol, you have a feature called global, there is a feature called global actions, where we can quickly create a record. Here you have a new contact option. Click on new contact. So it will just basically ask, this is the place where you can complete the actions quickly. So generally, when I speak about a new person, if I want to capture a contact of Pavitra, I just need her phone number, email ID, and full name. That's it, right? Other things I can manage. Let's say the moment I have your phone number and email today, maybe tomorrow when I'm having a next conversation, I can start updating the record details, saying that, okay, where are you working for? Who's your manager? What is the net worth of your company? All these things I can capture it later, right? So global actions basically helps us to quickly create the records. Okay. So, and in other way, global actions are also called as quick actions, because we are going to create these quick actions in our objects also. So we can also create our own quick actions. Okay. Now, so these are some of the Salesforce features. Let's say there are a lot of other features also, flows, process builders, workflows, multiple things. And if you want to learn the updates, like what are the updates that are there in Salesforce. So basically, every year, Salesforce will release three updates. one on spring, one on winter, one in summer. Okay, so if you want to know the details of every updates, then you have to go to that, the triangle symbol, where you will see the updates of Salesforce, the entire documentation related to updates. Or if you want to learn courses from Salesforce directly, all these things will be available here. So they'll charge you around 2,000 or $3,000 per admin and per development and all. So that is, you can figure out later. Okay. Now, with all these features, right, it's not that, see, there is no system which is perfect, right? So every system will have one or the other issues. But now, let us say, uh, thing is like, who is providing you the good support, or how do you get the support is what matters, right? For that, you have a question mark next to that triangle symbol, the trailet symbol, right? Click on that question mark. So this is the place where you can get the help and training also from Salesforce. Okay, but you can raise your questions here. Let's say Salesforce says that when you're creating a field, it will accept only email. But let's say for some reason it is accepting numbers also. So it's an issue. It's a product issue. It's not a development issue. So you can raise a case on it, or you can say raise a service request. So that Salesforce will call you back, and they'll address your issue, but not for us, because we are working on free editions. This is only for the customers who are using a paid licenses. Okay, then next to that you have a gear icon, right? Click on the gear icon. Next to question mark there is a gear icon, right? Yeah, click on setup. So this is the place where we will use or where we'll define everything about your application going forward. Every day, at least once, every admin or every developer will look at this screen. So this is the place where we can start defining users, defining applications, objects, tabs, or even fields. Everything can be done or defined from here. So that is why this screen is called a setup screen. Clear? And now, when Salesforce launched initially, right? So they came up with a very simple three platforms. So three products. One is sales, service, platform. What is platform? The place where you can create your own custom applications. Sales will speak about sales process. Service speaks about service process. Later on, they came up with multiple products like Einstein, MuleSoft, Quip, and all. But yeah, these are the initial products. Now, Salesforce always keeps sales and service separately. Now, if you click on the gear icon again, below setup, there is something called service setup. So everything related to service cloud will be there on the service setup. Sales cloud will be on setup itself, but features related to specific to service cloud will be there on service setup. For example, case management, knowledge details, all these things. Okay. So we will look into these when we start working on our service cloud in future. Okay. Then again click on the that gear icon. Now you have one more option, that is developer console, which is very important if you are going to be a developer. So if you people worked in other programming languages like Java, Oracle, and all, so you can relate this very easily. So this is a default editor which is given by Salesforce. So if you want to work on any of the work on development in Salesforce, it's not like you have to install too many tools. So even if you want to be a developer, you can simply work using your developer console. This is the place where we can create custom components like Apex triggers or batch classes, future methods, queuable classes, test classes, or even we can query the records here. We can create the records using scripts. We can run some anonymous scripts also to update the records, because sometimes people, users will say, hey, please delete all this 1,000 records. You can't simply go to each and every record and delete, right? You just have to run a small script so that everything will be deleted. Or they'll say that please deactivate this 100 licenses. 100 users. You cannot go to each and every user. You have to write some scripts. Or they'll say for every record, if name starts with Ram, then let us end them with, let's say, IBM. So you have to simply write a query and update it. All those things can be done from here. We can create our own custom components from the console. Okay. Or there are tools like Sublime Text or IntelliJ or even Visual Studio, where you can connect your Salesforce or with these standard editors using some plugins. I'll tell you how do we connect them as well. And you can start developing your application or developing your custom components in those editors also. Okay, clear? Now go back to the setup screen. Yeah, next to that you have a bell icon. So this I don't have to tell you. This is about the notifications. If you get any notifications, let's say you got a request for approving something, so you will this notification bar will be highlighted. Okay, it is exactly similar to the notification bells that you have in your Facebooks or in your YouTube. And all. Then this is about your profile. So if you click on settings, you will see the details of yours, like what is your personal information, advanced information, um, what can you provide access to someone else in Salesforce, and uh, what is the email features that you want to enable, or the display changes that you want to do, if you want to change your password, or what are the other connections that you have, connections that you can establish with the different systems. All these things will be available in this. Okay. So I'm just giving you an overview. I'm not going in depth to each and every concept because these are all there in our sessions schedule. So when we start working on each and every concept, we'll go to the respective screens and we will discuss about it. Okay.
Okay.
Again, go to the profile. So logout, I don't have to tell you, and you can change the display density. So comfy and compact. If you click on compact, the screen will shrink a bit. To be honest, on my systems I never see much difference. I'll go with the first option itself because that fits more my screen. There won't be any change, just a small change in the resolution, that's it. Again, click on that profile. So you have one important feature, that is switch to classic, which is definitely not important, but it's good to know. Click on that. So Salesforce started in 99, yeah, and initially they came up with classic version till 2014. This is where we used to work because I started my career in Salesforce before that itself. So this is the place where we used to develop our applications, and this is the place where our end users used to use their applications also. This is the classic view, right? Now little difference is instead of now we have like app launcher on the left side to launch your application. In classic you have the app launcher on the right side. If you see, there is something called content. The application name itself is content on the right top corner. If you click on the drop down, you'll see the list of applications that are available for classic. On the right top corner you have something called content with a small drop option, right? No, right top corner, yeah. See here also you have sales service. I say more or less a similar application that you have seen in your line. Right? But Salesforce slowly ending up the life of a couple of features in Classic, and it has clearly stated that in future Salesforce is not going to update anything or release any new features which is related to Classic. So any updates, anything that is happening, it's only on Lightning, and that's why each and every customers started using Lightning. But one thing that people will say is Lightning is fast, as the name itself says, but ideally Classic is much faster than Lightning. Okay. Now, how do I switch back? You have an option switch to Lightning. Please click on it. You will go back to Lightning. So at least till last to last quarter, there are one or two features which are available only on Classic. So that is where somewhere in the middle of the sessions, I used to take people to Classic, and I used to say that okay, this option is now available only in Classic. But now that is not at all required because everything is upgraded to Lightning, and it's been almost close to a decade. I think 8 years. From last 8 years, people are using Lightning. So even for your interviews also, it's good to go with only Lightning. So no classic concepts are required for you. Okay. So this is what is about the basic screens or basic elements of Salesforce. Now tomorrow, what are we gonna do? So we are going to deep dive into the sales application, right? To make it simple, because sales is something where people can connect easily. So we'll take some random example, right, of some business unit, and we'll discuss like how this sales process will go with this particular business unit, and then we will see how can we define, like tomorrow we'll discuss about the schedule more or less, how we are going to define the entire, or how we are going to learn the entire admin first. Okay, any questions till now, anyone?
Nope.
And the last thing, like whatever we have seen today, that might definitely be easy if you feel easy, but trust me, if you are not remembering the technical names or the terminologies that I spoke about today, and post the session, if you are not looking into the same screens at least 5 minutes or 10 minutes in your systems, trust me, you'll forget them within 2 or 3 days. Because admin is all about navigations. So you have to spend at least 5 minutes. So I won't ask your time more than 5 to 10 minutes post the sessions. So please spend that time so that it will be easy for you. Okay,
Okay.
that's all. See you tomorrow. Bye,
All
everyone.
right. Bye. Bye.